Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Sree Srinivasan, at Sree, member of the Nobel Prize Outreach Board, and I'm honored to be your digital co-host. I'm working in the back of the hall at the National Museum with Meta, who is a colleague at the Nobel Peace Conference and, of course, the Nobel Peace Center in Oslo. And people are just gathering and will be here with us to start the entire program in a few minutes. I thought we could just show you a couple of images of what's been happening here. We had the first 90 minutes and we have about another 90 minutes of programming coming. Here are the sketchnoting happening by our friends at Design It, a Wipro company, as you can see on the screen here, and they are doing this live sketchnoting. And this is Shirin Ebadi, Nobel laureate 20 years ago this year, 2003 laureate, and is talking about the current situation in Iran, deteriorating every day. In over 100 countries, the anger of people came from demand over the years. In Iran, decisions are made by one person with absolute power since 1979. We no longer want this regime. You're seeing that captured here. She gave a very powerful, very emotional talk and was so important to start our conversation. She talked about women and people have protested peacefully from the start, and they're attacked for their they're being attacked by oppressive policies. There is hope, the country is aware, and the Iranian people will be victorious. That was the message from Shirin Ebadi. We are also looking at some more sketchnoting from our friends at Design It. This is Alexandra, who won the Nobel Prize and is talking about justice is the condition for peace in Ukraine. We must ensure justice for all victims. People, we have to fight, and talks about how Putin is not afraid of NATO. He's afraid of the idea of freedom. Not afraid of NATO, afraid of the idea of freedom. And we should fight for an accountable government, an independent judiciary, and we need your voices. Ordinary people have been the ones who have pull people out of ruined cities. Each effort matters. That was the message from Alexandra. We're using the hashtag Nobel Peace Conference and hashtag Human Rights Heroes, and we want to continue to hear from you. We hope you are following on Twitter the Nobel Peace Center account, which is Nobel Peace Oslo, and we will show you some of the comments. Mary, who spoke earlier, Mary Lawler, who spoke earlier, the UN Special Rapporteur on Human Rights and human rights defenders, talked about the courage of human rights defenders everywhere. I salute your courage, your persistence, your hope, your resilience, your vision for a better world. And we're just gathering here to start the in-person conference, but we're giving you a little taste of what's happening online. Jan, the chair of HRC Memorial, talked about the problems that are happening right now in Russia by obstructing citizens from forming organizations and by limiting the freedom of opinion. The state destroys its own future and the future of society. A state that violates the rights of its own citizens inevitably becomes a danger to other states. So you're seeing the very powerful words that are being shared here from the stage. One of the earlier comments, I ask you to believe in your action. Each effort matters. Sometimes we can feel so helpless because of the enormous frozen power. We need your voice. We need your action, and that's why we're having this conference here today, Human Rights Heroes. And that's the hashtag Human Rights Heroes. We're tracking the use of it on Twitter, and we are, of course, live on YouTube and on the NobelPeaceCenter.org website, as well as on Facebook. Please connect with the Nobel Peace Center there, and of course follow Nobel Prize, the main Nobel Prize accounts on Twitter, on Instagram, and on Facebook. There is so much excitement here today, but you know that what happens is the new Nobel season is starting in October. The prizes will be announced, and in December there will be a Nobel Week of celebrations as the winners are brought, the laureates are brought to Oslo and Stockholm. Oslo is the home of the Nobel Peace Prize, and you heard the mayor of Oslo talk about how proud she is that Oslo is the home of the Nobel Peace Prize. So we are going to continue tracking our hashtags, human rights heroes, as well as Nobel Peace Conference. And everybody's getting ready. They just had their coffee, and we're going to be back. We're looking for your comments and your posts, so please share and participate today. And we are going to start in a few minutes. Thank you very much, and keep posting. Please keep sharing your questions. We are going to ask your questions of our very distinguished speakers. And also stay tuned for the Sunflower Declaration. It's going to be very exciting. So please stay tuned. We have about another 90 minutes or so of programming here from Oslo. Mette is working very hard. I'm just here trying to keep up with all the good work she and the teams are doing, including my colleagues in New York and Washington at Digimentor. So thank you everybody for tuning in, and here we go.